as a parent, you have a child and there becomes a problem with the delivery of the baby, and the baby basically gets stuck as the delivery is occurring, there can be negligence as a result of the doctors pulling too hard to get the baby out, which will cause the baby's nerves and muscles in their shoulder area, neck area, to become permanently injured. And oftentimes these children are left with a non-functioning arm or hand. So that there's two things that can be done by the doctors to prevent this from happening. One is they need to be looking to see whether or not the baby is so large in the womb that you need to have a C-section, because the baby could get stuck. So if during your pregnancy you had gestational diabetes, or which would cause a baby to be larger, we can look at the records and see they're measuring your stomach to see how much growth there is. Sometimes that can be an indication that the baby is very large and needs to be delivered via C-section rather than a vaginal birth. They can do ultrasounds and estimate, and everybody's had the ultrasounds where they estimate the weights. That's another way that they can determine, is this baby going to be too big to pass through the birth canal? And that's something that the obstetrician should always be considering as they manage and offer alternatives for whether or not it's going to be a C-section or a regular labor. So that's something we can look into, look at the records and see, were there indications that this baby should have never been delivered naturally, but rather should have been with a C-section. The second area that there can be negligence in this situation is once the doctor encounters the baby being stuck, there are certain maneuvers that they can do to try to disengage the baby and to facilitate a safe delivery. Oftentimes, though, there can become some panic, and the doctors and nurses don't follow all the procedures, and that's where you can end up with a really bad injury. So we would want to look at that and see, did the doctor follow all the right maneuvers as they attempted to disengage the baby and complete the delivery. If you have a child who suffered an injury to their shoulder and neck muscles and nerves during their delivery, you should call our firm.